1/4 mile in length from entrance to exit, and 2 straights, each measuring 5/8 of a mile. Altogether, these add up to a total track length of 2.5 miles. You're most likely beginning to feel the effects of our banking as we enter turn 2. Each of our turns maintain their original 9 degrees and 12 minutes of banking, the same as in 1909. By comparison, Daytona International Speedway in Florida has 31 degrees of banking in its corners. The aerodynamics of Indy cars make them more suited to lower banked tracks. If you look to the left, some of the viewing mounds are coming into sight. These are located throughout the infield of the track and are used by general admission ticket holders. Coming into view on the right are the Turn 2 suites, constructed in 1973. These suites offer a close-up vantage point to the action on track for VIP guests and sponsors. As we ride along the backstretch, you'll notice that the surface is asphalt. This is the only change from the original layout. If you're wondering what happened to all those bricks, most of them are still beneath us, buried under several layers of asphalt. You may now notice a golf course on either side of us. The original course was opened in 1929. There have been various configurations culminating with the major redesign in 1992 by legendary course designer Pete Dye. There are now 4 holes on the inside of the track and 14 beyond the back straightaway to your right. If Indy cars were on track right now, you would see them speeding by at roughly 235 miles per hour or 378 kilometers per hour. That would allow them to cover a football field in 9/10 of a second. For safety purposes, we keep our buses restrained to a more leisurely pace. The Speedway has seen many forms of racing in its century plus of existence. Hot air balloons and motorcycles held competitions even before automobiles took to the track. IndyCar, NASCAR, Formula One, and sports cars have all held major events here. Motorcycles returned in 2008, and even airplane races were held in the skies close to where we are currently touring. Coming up to your left is one of the more recent permanent additions to our facility, a 1/4 mile dirt track. This was installed in 2018 in part to honor USAC and IndyCar driver Brian Clausen with the BC39 Midget Car Race, held in conjunction with the Brickyard Weekend. This has become a premier USAC event with over 100 entrants in the first year. As we travel through Turn 3, be sure to look along the white walls on either side of the track. You'll notice the SAFER barrier in front of the hard concrete. SAFER is an acronym for Steel and Foam Energy Reduction. This safety feature was developed by researchers at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in conjunction with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It was first installed here in 2002. The SAFER barrier is responsible for saving many drivers from serious injury and can now be found at nearly all major racing facilities in the United States. If you look left, portions of the north end of the Speedway's road course will come into sight. Though early track renderings called for an interior road course, it took until the turn of the 21st century for one to finally be installed. The current layout measures 2.439 miles in length with 14 turns. Famed World War I flying ace Eddie Rickenbacker purchased the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1927. Captain Rickenbacker competed in the 500 before he learned how to pilot an airplane. He successfully guided the track through the Great Depression with no halts in racing. There were no events held here from 1942 through 45 as the result of World War II. Unlike the First World War, where the ground served as an aviation repair and refueling depot, the track was largely unused and began to be reclaimed by nature. At the urging of 3-time 500 winner Wilbur Shaw, Terre Haute, Indiana businessman Tony Holman saved the track from demolition in 1945, purchasing it for $750,000. Under Holman George leadership, the Speedway prospered and became the worldwide icon known today. In January 2020, the track was sold to longtime race team owner and entrepreneur Roger Penske. Here we are on the front straight. A large portion of the 250,000 plus permanent seats can be seen. Combined with the viewing mountains, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway can hold upwards of 350,000 people. This means the entire population of Cincinnati, Ohio, or the country of Iceland could find space to watch events here. The Indianapolis 500 holds the distinction as the world's largest attended single-day sporting event. You'll notice a wall separating the racing part of the front straight from pit lane. The original version of this was installed in 1957, and it may have been the first of its kind anywhere in the world. During the early days of the 500, pit stops would last several minutes. Modern crews can change a full set of tires and add fuel in less than 8 seconds. Coming up on the left is Victory Podium, and adjacent to it, the Pagoda. This iconic structure has 10 floors, and its height is equivalent to a 13-story building. Opened in 2000, it is the